A living single reboot. Friends alumni Jennifer Aniston says, hell no. There are two sides to every story, but there's only one backstory. Actors Queen Latifah and Erica Alexander sit in a spirited business meeting with Warner Brothers executive Ken Ratcliffe. The ladies have shared their ideas about the reboot of their 90s hit show, Living Single. Erica sat on the edge of her seat. Yes, we can bring back Sinclair, Overton, Regine, the entire Living Single ensemble. Latifah curiously listened. How come I feel like there's a but somewhere? In our business, there are always uncontrollable variables. What is it, money? No. There's just one minor hurdle that we have to leap over. Erica defiantly crossed her arms, protesting silently. The studio sold the rights to the show to someone. Latifah was paralyzed in place. You sold the rights to the show? Calm down. I invited the new owner to meet with us. The door burst open and in shimmied television star Jennifer Aniston. Her petite figure slid effortlessly into a chair. Latifah? Great to see you again. Jennifer turned to Erica. And you are? Her limp wrist extended in Erica's direction. You know who the hell I am. I see you still need people on their knees in order to feel tall. Jennifer chuckled with contempt. I see you still slumming it around the streets of Hollywood, Max. Sorry, Erica. Ladies, let's try to hold back a little. If I held back any further, I would be Erica's career. Erica leaped to her feet, ready to pounce. Bitch, you got the right one. You call me a bitch like it's a bad thing. Ladies, let's talk business for a minute. There's a high demand to reboot one of television's highest rated shows. Wait, I thought this was about living single and not Friends. Jennifer takes a sip of wine, gleefully smirking at the two ladies. Friends is a knockoff of Living Single. That's not what my paycheck says. Latifah, I have no beef with you. It's her. She ran Friends through the mud and I decided to join in on the fun. So I bought the rights to your little show. Petty. Hold on. Let me overthink this. You think Living Single was on Friends level? You stole our premise, our idea, the city. It's called appropriation. No, it's called popularity. No one was checking for Maxine Shaw. Rachel Green, on the other hand. Look, Jennifer, enough. What do we have to do to get Living Single back on the air? Jennifer stood erect. She was like the perfect villain in a horror movie. She snarled with flared nostrils. You can license the show for me, but only if you kill off the Maxine Shaw character. This is Carlos' story behind the backstory. So, we all know about Living Single and we know about Friends. For years, there's been this craziness about the two shows. Living Single started in 1993, and then Friends came along in 1994. We've heard the story where Queen Latifah said that an executive at Warner Brothers wanted Living Single, but it was already in production, so they made another version of it, which was Friends, and that's how Friends came into fruition. And I mean, we know that's the story. We understand that there are two different types of shows. We all understand that there are two different types of shows, two different types of audiences, and we get it. But stop trying to compare the two. At one point, Living Single was the #1 black show in all of America. In some parts of the world, it was the #1 black show. That means all the black eyeballs was on all of these amazing, intricate characters that settled in New York City, which was this amazing big melting pot for a lot of different types of cultures and alternative to what we saw in the world. So it was looked upon as a positive to see those different types of people on that show, which was on Fox. It aired on Fox for like 5 years. It was just incredible to see a lawyer, a business owner, a boutique owner, all these different types of people who personify success, who personify friendship, they personify family. It was like one of those things where when the Cosby Show came out, when the Cosby Show first came out, a lot of people say it was unrealistic, but for a lot of people it was realistic. It's just that the media, the landscape of television hadn't caught up to what was happening in real life. Like, it was happening all over the country, in places like Chicago, in places like Houston, in places like Miami. It was happening in New York, but the media just didn't show it that way. That's why representation truly, truly matters. Do I think the battle between Living Single and Friends is a racial one? I really don't. I just think it's a matter of preference. I tried honestly watching Friends, and I watched a couple episodes, but it wasn't my thing. It wasn't my niche. Does that mean that the show is horrible, bad? No, that's not what that means. For me, it just means that it's not my cup of tea. But when I watched Living Single, I was able to identify with the characters, with the occupations of the characters, with the city, with some of the different storylines that they went through. It was like watching my sister. It was like watching my aunt. It was like watching my uncle. So I identify more so with Living Single than that of a Friends for those points only. And I just thought it just makes for better television when you have a diverse type of offering, because when you do not, you can only go one way. When you have lots of different characters, different backgrounds, different kind of ethnic backgrounds, or even different types of social economic backgrounds, you can play with that. Like on Friends, when it was one level. It was just, this is what it is, and it was never growth. The characters, to me, from the episodes I've saw and from the stories I've read and articles I've read, it just seems like there was never growth. It was always, this is what it is, and this one likes this one, and this one like that one. It was never, where are we going? Where's life taking us? And if you watch Living Single, you can look at the arc of all the characters, where they were going, where they had their slumps, where they had their valleys, where they were trying to change their being, their life, their who they wanted to be, to their friends, to their families. And it was just, some of them changed jobs. It was just extraordinary storytelling. I love storytelling. Y'all all know that. But with Living Single and the Friends debate, I really don't want you guys to look at it as a racial thing. It's just more to me, it's more of a preference thing, and how you grew up and what you adapt to and what you look at as one of those things that could potentially be identifiable in somewhere in your life, And for me, that's the thing with any TV, any television show, any movie, anything that you're watching. Does it identify? Do you identify with the characters? Do you like the characters? Do you identify with the characters? Do you have fun watching them? Is there growth? Is there arcs? Is there somebody you root for? Like that's what brings people to the Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, and Succession. The list goes on. There's so many amazing, incredible TV shows and movies out there, but do you identify with those? And I think that's what great storytelling is about, great TV shows and movies are about. Do you identify with them? And even if you don't identify with them, is there some kind of thread of emotion, of love, of peace, of solidarity, of growth in those specific forms of media that's going to thrust you forward in your own life? That's the only reason why we watch. We don't watch just to be bored. We watch because we want to see some semblance of that in our own life. And I think Living Single was just at that time. Remember 90s? You were in the middle of the 90s, and there were maybe one or two, maybe three, maybe 4 or 5 African-American shows that were on television. So for us, looking at that right there was incredible, just seeing those people, different characters come to life in front of our eyes and not be boggled down by them being rappers or athletes, nothing wrong with them, but at that time in television, we wanted to see something different. We just wanted to see something different. So that's why I said it's all about preference. It's all about what you like and what you don't like, period. Nothing else. Trust me. The biggest difference I think that kind of killed it for a lot of people with Friends is that the show was based out of New York, and in New York, come on y'all, there's a vast amount of ethnic backgrounds and people and alternative there were just so many different types of people in New York, and you know, it's a melting pot. And you mean to tell me all you can find is one demographic? And I think that killed it for a lot of people. It just wasn't realistic to how the city was, so it wasn't based in truth for a lot of people. And I think that's why a lot of people compare the two, and they get mad when people, you know, try to shun Living Single, as opposed to, you know, saying that it's you know, the Friends is the better show. I just thank God that now in television and film that there's a greater form of representation of all people. It don't matter who you are, what your background is, your lifestyle, your sexual preference, it doesn't matter. You're somewhere represented on the landscape, the fabric that is media, and it's needed. Representation matter, you know, it is needed in all forms of television. And at that time, it was not, you know, it was not there. And now I think, you know, like I said, the media is making amends, and I think it'll be better. It will continue to spark diverse characters all over the platform. Lastly, like the media is going to cater to a certain demographic. Like they want all white people to watch this show, they're gonna push it to them. They want all black people to watch this show, they're gonna push it to them. They want all Arabs or Indians to watch this show, they're gonna push it to them. The point is, as a watcher of television and a watcher of movies or of media or internet, whatever you are, just make sure, just be open, be mindful, just be open. That's my thing to you as a person who is, you know, maybe watching this. Just be open to the possibilities of that there are a lot of different types of shows, a lot of different types of people that may or may not look like you out there. Give it a try and see what you like and what you don't like, because you'll be surprised at some of the things you would love and some of the things you're like, you thought you would like, and you may not like it. So just be open. That's my thing to you, to all, you know, types of media. And my last question is, what show did you like the best, Living Single or Friends? And tell me why. I just want to know why did you like the show? You don't have to, you know, down the shows. I just want to know why what drew you to Living Single? What drew you to Friends? What made those shows great for you? What got you excited about wanting to watch either one of those shows? I really genuinely want to know that. Okay, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you're a new person here, go ahead and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you like the video, okay? Until next time, remember, there's two sides to every story, but there's only one backstory.